Hello everybody, and welcome to Tip Tuesday from Sweet Beads in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi, and welcome back to Tip Tuesday. I'll be your host today. I am Shae Wilhite, and today we're talking about the amount of beads you need. So most of us get started using a pattern, and the pattern will tell us how many grams of each type of bead we need. Why are seed bead measurements in grams? Because the rest of the world is on the metric system, and even though in America we are metrically challenged, we still have to conform, especially when it comes to seed beads, which are generally made in Japan or Czechoslovakia. So they will be measured in grams, and we generally buy them in packages or tubes like this, and the tube will say how many grams of beads. This will say approximately 20-gram tube on these size 6 seed beads. And why does it say approximate? Because seed beads can vary depending on the finish on them. So a metallic finish may weigh a little bit more than and a very these are very matte, opaque beads. They didn't have a lot of coatings put on them. So they can vary. So it'll say approximately. So when you buy your tube, you know you have approximately 20 grams, but it might be 19 grams or it might be 21 grams. So buy a few extra if you are worried about running out. It's always better to make sure that you have too many beads. And is there such thing as too many beads? I don't think so. But what does that mean? What does a gram of beads mean? Well, it depends on the size of the bead. In a size 15 seed bead, there are about 280 beads in 1 gram. When we move up to the size 11 delicas, there's about 190 beads to the gram. When we go to a regular size 11 seed bead, it's approximately 110 beads to the gram. Moving up to the size 8 seed beads, there's about 40 beads to the gram. And then by the time we hit the size 6s, there's only about 12 beads to a gram. So you can see 1 gram of beads, depending on your size, can vary greatly from 12 all the way up to 280. So that's what they mean when they say a gram. And how would I measure a gram? I mean, you could count out, and certainly in the size 6 beads where there's only 12 to the gram, that's pretty easy to count. But there is another method, and you can measure them just like you would measure a lot of different things. And for that, a measuring spoon is actually a very good way to measure things. And 1/8 of a teaspoon, so this little 1/8 teaspoon measure, is approximately a gram of beads. Again, these are all approximate. You might need a little bit more, you might need a little bit less. And when I say 1/8 of a teaspoon, I'm talking about a gently rounded teaspoon. Not like when we're measuring, say, baking soda, where we are going to flatten off the top. You just want to gently scoop, and that'll be about 1/8 of a teaspoon. If you don't have 1/8 of a teaspoon measure hanging around, one thing that I have found is that the cap of these tubes of seed beads, this is called a friction cap because it's held on by friction. It's about a gram. So if you measure out about a capful, and this would be a fairly level capful. A capful of beads is about a gram. So if I needed 5 grams of size 11, I could measure out 5 of these little guys, and it would be pretty darn close. So I hope that clears up how many beads you might need. You will know how many beads you need because the pattern will tell you, but what that means in practical terms, I hope this helped a little bit. Not only telling you how many you need per the number per gram, but also how to measure them. And again, if you have a set of measuring spoons, you don't mind giving up the 1/8 of a teaspoon, that's about a gram. Again, capful, about a gram. So have a great week. We will see you next Tuesday, and until then, happy beading. And don't forget to purchase all of your beads, thread, needles, supplies. Check us out at sweetbeadslv.etsy.com.